Good morning, this is Rosie with Illuminate the Darkness, and I want to go over the first quarter moon reading. This time it is in the sign of Aquarius. The first quarter moon is a time for taking action, and so this energy that it brings may bring in the energy of like determination and wanting to make decisions and changes. And it also has a lot of challenges that come our way. These challenges are actually meant to see if you are going to stick by your intentions that you set with the new moon. Whatever it was that you're wanting to build towards, or, change or let go of or whatever, it's going to test you to see if you're just going to go back into the same route. Okay, so that's the key in the lesson, is that these things challenge us, and when we react in the same ways and do the same things, then we're just going to repeat the same cycles. So the key is to finally realize that that is what the lesson is and break free from that to forward yourself with the goal so you can get through that transformation, that breakthrough. So think of it like a riverway. Your brain is making neurological connections, and it's literally like a flowing river. You're gonna have to try to make a little, get off that same circuit. All right. So this allows you to make the necessary adjustments and the changes to move forward with focus and work towards your goals more, and allows you to see where you are holding yourself back and what you need to change to further yourself. Sometimes we don't see that stuff, so that's why meditation and things like that are important, because you want to clear the thoughts, because the thoughts are not you. Eckhart Tolle, I think his name is, he wrote a couple books on The Power of Now. He pretty much explains that our thoughts are separate from us, and if we think of ourselves as separate from our thoughts, we can break free from those thoughts a lot easier when we don't identify with them and view them as us. Okay, thoughts are extra, meant to distract us. So the Aquarius moon is a blend of logic and intuition. So it is an air sign, but it is symbolized by the water barrier. So it has both water and air characteristics. It's pretty interesting because of that. They value independence and intellectual connection and emotional expression. So you have that intellectual side, but you also have that emotional side because the balance of the air and water. They can also be pretty perceived as detached because they have that ability to be so connected and they automatically connect, so they're going to try to detach themselves because it like drains so much of their energy, so they are the humanitarian sides, the more like people pleasers that are going to try to make sure that humanity's working out as it should and that there's a balance in life. So, a lot of people that are involved with that kind of work, they get very burnt out, they get detached, they get to where they want to like run away from it. So make sure that if you're feeling those feelings, that you take that time to step away for a second and refresh yourself, because those are important. You can't continue to feel that stuff and then expect yourself to just get over it without having to go through the motions of feeling it. So let it flow. Aquarius moons are innovative, progressive, and they are unique individuals. They can suffer from self-doubt and fear of failure. So, that's common for a lot of us to have those fears. Just work towards getting over it, because once you break through the one fear and you further yourself, what you're going to face is a new fear that you didn't even realize is there. So the key is to continue to break down those walls, and like you're just going to keep coming up the bigger bosses, And it's going to get scarier and scarier along the way. It doesn't get easier. Even after you defeated that one, you're like, oh, I'm cool. Well, no, here's another one. It's bigger and badder. So, like, with the fear of failure and self-doubt, we also, once we break through that, we can have fear of, like, what do they call it, where you feel like you're not that person, you know what I'm saying? The impersonation fear or whatever, like, as if you're not the person that should be perceiving yourself as you are, but you wouldn't have that feeling, you wouldn't have that ability to do that if it wasn't meant for you. So get past all the fears and know that these things are really just part of the lesson and part of the journey and meant for you to overcome, and they are part of the challenges. Along with this energy, you may have a desire to break away from the past and make changes. So, like, again, that feeling of making changes and building and renewing, you know, where you need to fix. So the Aquarius is the air sign, like I had said. Air signs are intelligent, they communicate a lot, they're very charming and social, and they're very adaptable. And it also holds the symbol of the water barrier. So the water barrier symbolizes wisdom, compassion, bestowing life upon and knowledge upon the world. That's the humanitarianism side and the balance. So the water barrier and tarot cards are usually predicted with the lady with 2 jugs of water, and she's pouring one out and stuff, and it's supposed to symbolize the subconscious and the conscious mind and the balance of it all, and the way that life needs water for, you know, to survive. So water can be deep emotion, or it can be symbolized as what brings life, you know, because they say life started in water. So Aquarius moon also is ran by the ruling planet is Uranus, and Uranus is the planet for rebellion, innovation, sudden change, and independence. So that's what's gonna give it that little, like, kick and that drive to move forward and not want to fit into the lines. So, like, they know how to be adaptable and charming and fit in, but they don't choose to always just fit in, you know. And again, that's why they are also known as, like, the unique people, because they're the more outgoing people that's going to be the change and the difference and, you know, from the norm. Aquarius is also a fixed sign along with Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. So fixed signs are in the middle of seasons. So right now we're in the middle of fall, and they are the doers. So the cardinal signs start the plan, they don't carry it all out, and then the fixed signs come in and they do the plan. They're the ones that, like, okay, well, this is what needs to be done. So they are about stability and preservation. So, like, they got the stamina to keep going, and they want to create that balance, even everything out, make sure everything is how it is supposed to be. And then they also are dependable, loyal, and they can be very stubborn because they know what needs to be done and what they're supposed to do, and they want to do it their way. So if you are a fixed sign right now, you may be feeling all these signs a lot stronger, because along with all this other stuff, the first quarter moon and the Aquarius, it is also the beginning of Scorpio season. Scorpio season initiates a lot of energy that is, like, very intense, mysterious, transformative, deep emotions, and a lot of truth. So again, like, when it comes down to digging deep, you can't hide anything. And when it comes to Scorpios and the deep waters, let's just say that the darkness is where they can see the best. So they uncover the secrets to face what lies beneath the surface. So they're kind of like ripping off the mask and making you see what really is there. And it is about embracing power and determination and intuition. So as a Scorpio, you may be feeling this time for action, the determination in the first quarter moon already, but then you also have the Aquarius energy that has the balance of the air and the water mixed with another water with Scorpio. So the deep emotion and uncovering all these things that are just making you realize what life really is, what reality is, and not the fantasy of hormones and all this other stuff that life throws at us. It really kind of awakens us, and sometimes we don't like that because we're comfortable in our naiveness. Okay. All right, let's do a reading. See what the moon energy brings to us today. Okay, we got Nine of Swords in reversed, Four Cups in reversed, and Judgment in reversed. Okay, so the Nine of Swords in reverse stands for the light at the end of the tunnel. Nine of Swords can be like exhaustion, like you can't go on no more. So in reverse, it's actually the end of a bad time. It's more about light, hope, strength, and faith. And it's not an easy process. So it's that challenge, that's seeing if you're gonna have learned lessons to get through it, and it requires a lot of honesty and patience and change. So, excuse me. It is also the revision of old attitudes and behavior patterns. So also that goes with the first quarter moon, with the revisioning and redoing to fit your goals and where you're wanting to be. And worry and stress has been blocking your emotion. So that's kind of what the Nine of Swords and upright means. And release from this will restore harmony. So during this time, you want to release all these emotions. You know, that's why these emotional times happen, is to really help us pull that plug out so we can see how much we've been holding in, because sometimes we don't realize it when we carry it around for so long. Four of Cups in reversed is more about the fear of being alone, and you may have like a frantic social life or unsuitable lovers, very unsatisfactory life. Your career or like life in general just has like little to no meaning. You may feel stagnant and burnt out, and this is really a time for you to look for new opportunities and maybe get into like a new hobby or a work that will actually feed into you and help you grow from that. And then the Judgment in reverse is about delayed decisions, stagnation that really can keep you in this stuck, unhappy mode. This is time for you to make your mind up, and also a reminder that delaying these things that you're being afraid to do, because it's mainly about the fear of change and death. So these last two cards have been about fears. That was also about what our reading was over, was fears. So like, you got to stand up to that. So yeah, make your mind up on whatever decisions that you're wanting to make, and realize that relationships and careers don't wait around for you. So you want to move and go with it sometimes. Sometimes it's scary to try new things, and all that, but without changes and without risk and taking those chances, we would never get new experiences. This can also be about a separation, either like you got a partner that goes away on work and you have been separated without wanting to be, or maybe you guys took like a little break or whatever. If it's a bad relationship, this is a card that kind of tells you that it's going to be ending soon. And if it's a relationship that is meant to last, it's telling you that these bad times are going to be over soon. So like, just keep working through it. Keep trying to use this energy of communication to work, to communicate with your partner to get to new heights and reach new perspectives, because if you aren't reaching new perspectives and they're not reaching new perspectives, then what's the point of the conversation? You're just blowing hot air for literally no reason. They're not changing their mind or how they think. These cards don't want to work for me today. Okay, so we'll do one card pull from the Black Moon Astrology. And we got 6th house routine. It is number 30. I will be 30 this coming up month. Let's see. Corresponding card is the 7 of Pentacles. Daily work, healing, thought, discernment, small animals, employees, and orderliness. You must change your usual way of looking at things. The 6th house is ruled by the mutable sign of Virgo, the planet Mercury. In that horoscope, it is the area of routine and everyday life. It is not so much a dazzling place as it has to do with the ordinary. It also rules the body differently from the 1st house, and specifically your health, especially the digestive tract. This house reminds us of what we should do to maintain good health, and in this, diet figures in. Anything that comes from alternative health or various approaches to strengthening the body and supporting a healthy lifestyle all falls under the category of the 6th house. The 6th house is all about duty, responsibility, and gainful employment. It shows how hard you work, how organized you are, how much you worry, and what you do on a daily, 9-to-5 basis. This is why it is also looked upon as the house of the job, how you earn a living as an everyday citizen. When this card turns up, a job change is possible. When the 6th house presents itself in a reading, an important thing to consider is the state of health. Medical appointments and buildings such as hospitals and health centers may figure into your reading. For your future plans to progress smoothly, you must be strong in body. An area to look at closely is your diet. An alternative health approach may work best for you now, and you may find yourself interested in Reiki, acupuncture, chiropractors, health supplements, herbs, and visits to health food stores. Massage is good too. Becoming involved in these matters professionally may also develop. As the 6th house has everything to do with your routine and what you do regularly, you may experience changes and disruptions in your schedule. It would be to your benefit to become as organized as you can, since at this time, any type of disorganization can defeat your plans. It is time to pay attention to the small particulars rather than the larger picture. The larger picture cannot develop without the minute details. You may find yourself worrying over little matters, which is exhausting. Visits to libraries and schools may somehow assist you in your plans. It's important to be analytical in your endeavors, or they may come unraveled and not turn out in the ideal way that you want. Perfection is not necessary to success. Completing what you start is more important. However, the 6th house card does suggest You insist on quality and usefulness. You may find yourself critical at this time, or others will seem to be critical of you. You may want to clear up or correct matters which may become unhinged or at least off track. Efficiency and doing the right thing at the right time will serve you in the coming days. This is probably not an easy time because it is meant to be. Because it is not meant to be. For something to really serve you in the best way, with the outcome you are wanting, you will have to go step by step and have patience. It is not likely to happen fast, but whatever you manage to accomplish will stick and serve you well in the future. Okay, so that literally goes with the Four of Cups, being stagnant and burnt out, looking for new opportunities, wanting new work, wanting new life, wanting to make changes. And then the Judgment reverse, delaying decisions and, maybe about this job change, the fear of change. It's literally about just putting your life into a balance that's going to feed back into you when it comes down to work. We all have to work, sadly. We all have to make money. And you might as well try to do something that you're going to enjoy doing, so that way it doesn't just suck your soul for the entirety of your life. So I hope the rest of your day goes well, and I hope my reading resonates with you guys. If you can, like, share, and subscribe, I would love that. And thank you. Have a great day.